Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. I trust you had a most magically marvelous Wednesday. We have ourselves a SPY on the boards. Not much happening today. Pretty much a non-event. Only took one day trade, made 0.6 Rs. That's right, 0.6. And stopped trading for the day. So I'll talk about what that trade was in a moment. But realistically, it looks like a flag pattern, probably. Some type of flag, stair step, a little bit of continuation. I do expect SPY to most likely make a new all-time high relatively soon. And then everyone will hop on, a bunch of newbies. And then, pull back down to here, most likely. And that'd probably be a really good time to, well, buy the dip. But anyway, as far as the markets go, here's the Qs. And the Qs did not make a new all-time high today, but they did make a higher high. And I like that bullish candle. So now you have 7 bullish candles in a row. And right now the trend still looks pretty good on the Qs. The Dow Jones is still kind of lagging behind actually from the SPY. Not quite nearly as high as it is making, close to making all-time highs. But this is a retest gap on the Dow, and we are, at least presently, retesting. So I had some requests for Etsy, ETSY. Etsy had earnings, and they're doing and had a really nice retest gap. So this is a white candle gapping up to an all-time high. Anyone who had ever bought Etsy ever was profitable, so they start selling. Makes sense to me. Now you have a little bit of a lower shadow, kind of a bullish candle. You filled the gap to its entirety. So at this particular point, if you're looking at playing Etsy, it'd probably be something like this. Personally though, I like it more longer term. So if you're playing Etsy, maybe you're doing some type of put sale or bull put spread if you can find premium. So a put sale 35 for September brings in 25 measly cents. So there's really no money in it right now. So yeah, I guess it'd be bullish to neutral. Maybe own some shares, hang out, but we just absolutely ripped through this previous all-time high. And right now, bullish volume profiles as far as the eye can see. Nice little bullish trend, buy the dip. That's pretty much my thoughts on Etsy. BABA, B-A-B-A, is down 1.3% today. And really the big warning sign was a close below this support right here. And most importantly, a close below this bullish candle as well. And we did have a really nice upper shadow kind of yesterday on BABA. Had a really nice move today. Let me actually show you what we were talking about in the afternoon room for Tech Giant Tuesday just yesterday on BABA. Decent gap up today. Here's the hourly chart, and this is going to be a really key pivot on BABA. This pivot and this pivot. If this fills really tomorrow, my day traders, I do think you can smash that for some gainages. So there you go. That analysis alone could help you make a little bit of money on BABA. If I turn on the extended hours, here's the extended hours. Here's that chart that I was looking at and that exact drawing on BABA. Good support, quick breakdown, nice little move for some put options. Do have a few traders who sold some puts on BABA. Long term, it's a great company, but here's your 50 EMA on a weekly. We've gotten there. Now we figure out if we bounce. Earnings not too far away, so we'll just have to kind of see if and when BABA breaks out of this distribution phase. It's more going to be, though, when than if, in my opinion. All right, let's hop over to the one day trade that I placed today. This was on Applied Optoelectronics. Obviously, a bullish gap and go was above all the moving averages, but it was gapping up pretty high. Even though this thing had a massive short float, the first 5-minute candle was certainly not indicative of bullishness. And I can't really explain how or why I got out of this one. I just had a feeling. I kind of explain it to you the best I can. I mean, this first candle, obviously bearish. Trade up, pulled right into the 10s. I mean, I have to play this, right? Bullish gap and go, hammer-ish candle at the 10. Beautiful. So there's the pop. There's the entry, 43.25. And I don't know, man. Like with the sell-off that big on a bullish gap and go, right? Gap and goes shouldn't really fill like that. And when they do, that shows a lot of weakness. So when this was so bullish, I mean, that was happening, that was within minutes. I was almost up half an hour, 2-3 minutes, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, this feels too good to be true. So I bailed. I took the gain, 0.6 R, which took me from 6.81 ours for the month of August, sitting at 7.4 as of right now for the month of August. So I'm working hard, hitting that goal, hell or high water, as they say in the South. Woke up at 3 a.m. this morning, back traded for 3 hours before the market opened. Before I did my Spider-Man push-ups. I'm grinding it out, ladies and gentlemen, making this happen, enriching lives, getting better for me so I can get better for you. I love it. But anyway, that was the only day trade that I personally played today on the charts. And then, Brad and the gang played MTCH, Match Group Incorporated. I did not play this one. It's a bullish retest gap, white candle gapping up, and obviously you can see the retest pulled in right there, consolidation breakout, pretty easy. That's what Brad played in the room. That was a really good call. That was the win for the day in the trading room. Also had a request for Zillow. Zillow group, huge gap down on Zillow, but it was almost too big. The problem is it was like, what, 25-something% down? Huge gap down on earnings, and it was a gap and go, granted, but it was just too big. It did trade down to some support levels, kind of, sort of, right about there. Almost hit the 100 on a weekly. This is what saved it, though. Very nice, healthy, obvious bullish trend. So if you're looking at playing Zillow, I probably would say look to buy the dip. This is a retest gap on the hourly, on the daily, on the hourly, kind of a little bit of a double bottom type of thing. So you got this. It closed above, retested, maybe get another shot at it on a little bit of a pullback. But I do think slowly and so quietly Zillow begins to fill that gap over the next 2 to 3 months. Next on the list is Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Here's some about HPE. And I took a really good trade on this one not too long ago. And it was right around here, actually. Got in on the 5th of June and got stopped out on the 20th of June. And now we're kind of back. So had I held it the entire time, could have worked out. But this does look like a inverted head and shoulders pattern. Boom, 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 bam. So let's see if and when we get a close above here, which is pretty much, let's just call it 17 for nice round numbers, because you got the 100 simple on a daily is going to act as a resistance. Here's the weekly chart. We bounce off the 100 on a weekly, which I did mention that in class. Almost a perfect tweezer bottom. So yeah, overall on the weekly, big long primary trend looks bullish to me. And if you're looking at going long on Hewlett-Packard, just wait for a close above that neckline. TGA, Transglobe Energy. Nice looking trends. And let me go to a weekly chart on Transglobe. Yeah, so this one had a nice breakout, even though my HK stock has not. Transglobe has. And yeah, some volumes coming in. It looks good. Kind of like a, trying to look at this wave pattern. Definitely a pennant. Can't tell if this is a 3 or a 5, honestly. The good news is the last 2 weeks have pretty much been a non-event. They've been indecision weeks thus far. So I would have to say, if it trades down to the 50, it looks pretty good for a bounce opportunity. Otherwise, you probably want to close above these wicks, some type of bullish candle, and then you probably want, most likely, a little bit of a retest of that candle, some sideways movement for another week or so. And after you get that sideways movement, that rest and that consolidation, then you'd be looking to go long again on TGA. So get a little bit of time. I think it can churn and burn sideways, but it should do its thing. Ticker symbol IQ. We're not bullish on it. In fact, if you're looking at playing IQ, the low of today was 28.84. So I'd probably just be keeping a pretty close eye on IQ to slowly break down, actually, believe it or not. Found a pattern on a particular stock that we've been talking about in the afternoon swing trading room that is related almost perfectly to IQ, and it has helped us determine almost to the day exactly what to do since back here in mid-July. So that's pretty cool that we found a pattern that replicates it almost exactly. So I do think that IQ is most likely going to go a little bit lower. If you're looking at trading it, you could do something like this potentially, if it breaks down. I'm not saying IQ is going to go to 0 or anything, but it could easily return at some degree back down to the 2019 level, maybe even a little bit lower than that. But long term, you'll get some buying opportunities on it. Right now, I'd be a little bit cautious. And last but not least, I had a Forex request. Haven't had one of those in a while. US dollar, Turkish lira. How cool. So let's go look at a long term. So I got requested for long term and short term. And here's the US dollar lira, and it is making gains. So USD, that is a bullish trend for sure. So good for the for lira. Yeah, nice looking trend. I mean, realistically, the small problem is at this point you're kind of chasing it if you're not already in. I mean, this thing's been going on since 2011. I would have loved to have known about this in around 2013. I'm not a Forex trader primarily. Well, at all. I've never traded. Here's a rest after battle pattern. Very nice rest after battle on a weekly. Here's the daily time frame. This was a really, really good bullish breakout right there. Retest, old resistance, new support. Solid trend. So realistically, the US dollar, Turkish lira will trade sideways probably for a few days and then maybe continue higher into another thrust. Right now, the trend is bullish. I wouldn't fight it at the present moment. I don't, again, personally trade Forex, but if I'm going into an hourly chart, I'm certainly looking for a little bit more of a pullback, a little bit more of a congestion, probably a pullback to about 519. Then I would buy the dip and just continue riding up this bullish trend. That is it for me, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in. You are amazing. I hope this was beneficial, helpful, and enriching. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. You rock. Bye.